My name is Scarlett Marlowe, and I'm a student in urban archaeology. 370 feet beneath this point is a hidden chamber that might contain a critical missing piece of our history.
How are we supposed to get down there?
The catacombs. There are 200 miles of tunnels right underneath our feet.
They're holding the remains of 6 million corpses.
Stop. This is the Empire of the Dead.
These are human bones. We go through here?
Let's do it. Keep slow and steady, yeah?
I think I'm stuck.
Just breathe with me, please. It's okay.
What was that?
Hey, I'm Ryan Turek, the managing editor of ShockTillYouDrop.com, and I'm here in Paris within the catacombs beneath the city's streets to talk to the cast and crew of As Above, So Below. Hey, so listen, when we talked at WonderCon, you played up the Indiana Jones kind of Tomb Raider aspects of the film, and I didn't anticipate it being so heavy, which is really unique for the horror genre. When I start describing the film now, it's going to be adventure-horror because I feel like that's what you guys place first. So during the film making and during post-production, did you guys find it trying to strike that balance between horror and adventure and going easy on one thing and more on the other? Were there more scares, less scares as you guys were going along?
It stays pretty true to the script we had. And, we wanted something that starts more in your intellect and more as a puzzle. And as it goes, it gets more and more primal and more surreal. And we really wanted to play with that. We trimmed up the start of it a little bit just to, spend a little less time in that world. We realized the actors do such a good job of selling it that, we just didn't have to spend as much time there. And but no, we really wanted to have that combination. Something, if the Da Vinci Code went horribly wrong, we wanted a bit of that kind of feel to it.
Yeah, we like the idea of the supernatural horror element kind of sneaking up on you a little bit, where you're kind of going down one path and it takes a turn, and that turn felt fun to us.
Okay, guys, with the way the Dowdle shoot, which is Fast and Furious, I heard that they had a limited crew, and it was just you guys in this environment. We're actually in caves. Let's confirm that we're actually here down in the caves.
Yes, we're several hundred feet down.
Shooting with that style, I'm sure you guys were prone to a lot of accidents and a lot of scrapes, maybe. How was the shooting experience, and were there any fun, happy accidents that occurred along the way?
Happy accident.
There's not that many because at the end of the day, this is like a universal legendary film, and I think they're more scared for something to happen to us than we are.
Yeah.
So there wasn't anything like terribly accidental happening, really, right?
No,
Did you fall or anything?
No.
Did we lose anybody?
Okay.
You sure?
Yeah, we lost.
Just a grip.
One of the people. A couple grips.
A couple grips got lost. Okay.
I'm sure they'll turn up. It's been a year.
No, there wasn't anything. It was just fun. It was just really fun to go down with literally a skeleton crew. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
And
because you're so used to giant crews and everything's so.
It's great shooting with the limited crew. It's really fun, and it makes it more of a kind of go team.
We even had to cut that crew kind of in half at one point when we went down into like the super exclusive catacombs that no one's allowed in.
Wading through the water, and we had sort of, it was literally the only people who needed to be there, and everyone was in waders, and then they had to get this guy on crew who was so beefy that he could carry all of, because we still needed all the same equipment, but he could carry, he was just laden up. I mean, he was like Hercules. He was cool.
Nice.
Who could sort of just carry all the food and the drinks and because you need everything. We were down there for such a long time.
Yeah. Well, just to kind of get this out of the way, can you guys just talk about your characters a little bit? I love the fact that you're an adventurer and you're a guy who just goes around and fixes shit. I'm like, he just goes around and fixes stuff. So
George is, that's a real kind of person. I was reading a bunch of articles about these urban adventurers that exist in cities that are cool enough to house them, and it was a really kind of an interesting concept. I fell in love with that idea. Like when you first meet George, he's up in like a clock tower fixing an old clock, right?
To make the bell work.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm jealous. Like I want to be that person.
Yeah.
It was, you know, I was
Were
at
you
the
cool
same time.
tools?
Huh?
Were you cool tools?
Yeah, like I was
Yeah.
at the same time playing someone nerdier than me and far cooler than me.
Well, you're doing some good. That's like it's
Yeah.
like it's something of value. You
Yeah,
know?
you're
It's
just
oh,
like
that's nice.
badass, but for the greater good,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
Oh, and Scarlett is she's an urban archaeologist, but sort of very well read in many different fields, having had a quite academic upbringing, and very driven and kind of obsessed with finding this one thing that her father failed to find his entire life, and sort of enlisting the help of George, among others, as sort of gung-ho, kind of Lara Crofty,
Yeah.
Indiana Jonesy,
But like super into
badass.
But very Scarlet, very you. You know, I mean, like I said, it's your character. I mean, like that's what I was telling the Dowdles earlier. It's like, yeah, it's a little Lara Croft, it's a little Indiana Jones, but there's very much you involved. You know,
Yeah,
it's your own thing.
No,
So, and
absolutely.
that's what's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah,
about
yeah.
it, you know?
She's a great character.
Yeah.
That was difficult. We searched like everyone. I mean, like hundreds of people in LA, and then we searched Paris also, and then we searched London. So we had 3 casting directors, and we saw hundreds and hundreds of auditions. And Perdita, you know, she had actually sent in 2 auditions. One is a blonde, one is a brunette. And Drew and I had a funny conversation where I was like, I found the perfect person for I found Scarlett, and she's, you know, she's this blonde woman, like, and then Drew's like, no, I found her, and she's like the brunette. And then we realized it was the same name, and we're like, oh wow, like that's badass.
And the pressure was on. I mean, we were 3 weeks into prep, and we still hadn't cast, you know, our lead, which was so important.
Right.
And it was, you know, finding someone that has that combination of being super driven and hyper intelligent, but also, you know, pretty warm and accessible, and someone you'd want to spend time with and follow into an adventure like this. That's a really tough combination to find, and Purdy is, you know, it to a T.
Yeah.
Very cool.
How is this?
When I was a kid, we had a piano that looked exactly like this. I used to play it all the time. The A4 key was messed up. What's going on? Can you read that?
According to mythology, that's the inscription over the gates of hell. And they shall be made to crawl on their bellies to enter the kingdom of darkness.
Did you hear that?
Is somebody there?
What's happening to us? Dad?
It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault!